Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. So guys, it is Wednesday. England are playing tonight in the Euros semi-final. Can they make it to the final to face Spain? We will see. But yeah, this is going to go out at 6 o'clock. So you're watching this first and then after that, the football will be on. So let's get on with the video. It's part two. It's on the Peugeot 308. We have got some bits and pieces to do around this car. I think the rear end is kind of where I want to leave it. Don't want to take it any further than that until I get the power puller ratchet and we can start pushing and pulling that back end when that turns up. But there's other stuff that we can do. Rear brake pads, front brake pads. That door needs stripping down. The door cards needs taken off. We need to look at that, see if we can push that out, repair that. So let's get cracking. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys, there we go. That is the new brake pads fitted. Yeah, that side, this side was okay, getting that piston back in. This side was an absolute pain. It was a bit of a joke because they went down so low, them pads. Do you know what I mean? It because they go down so low, the piston comes out so far. That I even struggled getting the actual tool in there to be able to wind it back in. But yeah, anyway, it's done. We got there in the end. Yeah, nice new brake pads on the rear, all done. So what I want to do now is I am going to have a little go at this door. Going to strip it down on the inside, take the door card off, take all the insides out, and I'll just have a look to see, you know, what is going on in there, and can I make it any better, really? Because I can't find one of these doors in colour. Just can't find them. They're just not out there. So I would love to go and get a door in colour, guys, and change it over, job done, and it'll be sorted. But they're just not out there. So I'm going to try and see if we can repair it to a reasonable standard. We'll have a look at it once I'm finished, and then we'll just go from there, really. I don't want to send it to the body shop or paint shop, really, because there's not enough money in the car to be doing that. I think I'd rather spend the money on the front end, like mechanical, like brake pads, Gearbox oil change as well, because it's automatic. I think just do the gearbox oil change, engine oil, you know, all the service parts. I'd rather do that and spend the money on those kind of bits, because without an engine, like any car, without an engine running smoothly and nicely and lasting, then you haven't got a car. So especially at this age, do you know what I mean? And let's just see what I can do. So let's get set up, let's keep going, let's have a go at this door. Let's do this. Okay, so there we go. The door is stripped down, and I originally thought, when I first saw the door, I thought, do you know what, there's going to be a reinforcing bar from the inside running across. On some cars and some doors, they have that bar. This one does not seem to have that. So we can possibly, you know, have a good push. I could probably give it a push now, and you might be able to see. Nope, I can't get my hand around the back of that block. Okay, so as I'm pushing from behind the door, you see that movement? So I think a lot of this we're going to get out. It's going to take a little bit of plan around, a little bit of levering, a little bit of pushing, and stuff like that. But I think I'm going to get that looking better, for sure, looking better than what it is. So let's get set up and let's see what we can do. And I'll, you know, you can see the results as I'm doing it. So let's do this. Yeah. Well, guys, that actually popped out really, really well. God, that squeak is driving me mad. What is that squeak? Is that hinges, isn't it? Yeah, I have to sort them hinges out. Give them a WD-40 or something. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to the damage, because, yeah, as you can see, it's so much better. There's still some, you know, areas that need to be a little bit of attention, but at least, obviously, that, you know, most of it's been pushed out. You've got a little bit of bare metal here, so we've definitely got to show some attention to that. It's just whether or not it's going to be a real struggle now to get any sort of paint over that to match. But we're gonna have to give it a try, because I can't leave it with bare metal like that. So, but yeah, but as you can see, like I've so much sort of space in here, I could sort of just pushed out, knocked out, and I think it's coming really well. I think, if considering what it was, it's pushed out okay. There's going to be some bits and pieces around the car. I'm going to obviously do my best for it. Like this here, I want to try and get these marks sorted out as well. And obviously this one here, that's bare metal as well, these two. And the bottom here as well. So, you know, I really do want to go over this car and have a good go at it. But if I start painting this door, like rattle can it, like sort of bit of filler, you know, to put some time into it, rattle can it, is it going to look completely different to this door and this quarter when I'm finished? I think it is. I really do think it is, because it never works out with rattle cans. It just don't work out. You've got to have a tin of base coat, and it's got to go to the painters. But it just doesn't warrant, this car does not warrant it, send it to the painter. It doesn't. It's as simple as that, really. And you guys don't want me to lose on any car, do you? So that is exactly what will happen if this goes to the paint shop. That is exactly what is going to happen. There'll be no money left in this car, and I'll probably lose money on it because I've got to spend a painter to do the doors. I still think someone would want it. I don't think at this age of car and what it is, someone's going to be really that fussy. Like, they're going to go, do you know what? As long as it's mechanically sound, as long as it's got a fresh MOT, you've gone all over it. I'm starting to do, obviously, the parts of the MOT because of brake pads. But as long as it's got a new MOT with no advisories, hopefully, fingers crossed, and it's mechanically sound, I don't think people are going to worry too much about the odd little pieces. But I'm not going to leave it like that. I can't leave it like that because it's bare metal. So I will rub it back and then chuck a little bit of filler on it, and then maybe I don't know, get a can of rattle can of the same colour and see if we can actually match it in. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to let you know. See how it goes. Right, so we're going to jump on the front end in a bit. But before we do that, I want to show some attention to these grills. Same thing on most cars. It looks like they're just leaking. They're wobbling all over the place, and I just can't leave them like that. So I want to do these two first, get them sealed up, and then we'll chuck the wheels back on, and then I'll spin it around, and then we'll start on the front end mechanically, like not timing belt, the service, front brake pads, service the gearbox oil, and stuff like that, and we'll just get into it and find out what we can find in there. So for the moment, let's continue on the back a little bit. Let's do this. Right, guys, just quickly before I spin the car around, I just want to quickly show you, you know, what I've done around the actual vents. So silicone right round, push the vent in, and then just with your finger, just smooth it off so that it's a bit of a smooth going all the way around, and then that should be done, waterproof. That's going to give it enough time now to go solid and dry. Yeah, and that's done. So let's spin the car around. We're going to jump on the front end and start the work on that. So let's do this. Right, okay, so guys, front end, engine side. Let me just show you, because I started to thought, do you know what, I'm going to drop the oil, start doing, changing the oil filter and stuff like that. But I've come across something that we have to deal with and sort out before, yeah, there's little drops of oil, which only means one thing. We have got an oil leak. So, yeah, I have chased it up, basically. It's not gearbox oil. It's definitely engine oil. So it's definitely coming from up higher. Now, like I said, I've chased it up to see where the highest point of what I can see is causing the leak. But I do think there possibly would be, but it's two things to this. It's going to be the cam cover on the top of the engine and the sump gasket as well. So I think we're going to have to do all this work. So drop that sump. That's going to have to be resealed. All the oil cleaned up. We're going to have to drop the gearbox oil as well. So I'm going to be doing that. But I do think it's coming from the top end and the cam cover here, and I think it's just going all the way down. You can see it. This is the highest point of it up here, and look, it's running all the way down. Past, it's higher than the oil filter, which is there. So it's not the oil filter, but again, it might have some, something to do with it. It might be linked. It might have, but it's definitely at this point. You can see where all the oil's here. So I think this cam cover is definitely leaking. So we're going to be doing that as well. This is obviously a Peugeot engine, but it has got the special spark plugs on this one. Are they platinum? Yeah, they're platinum. But you can see, look at they're not your normal. Look at the thread. It's not your normal spark plug thread. Look at it all. So luckily enough, back in the day when I did the BMW, I did a Mini. I tried to fix a Mini Cooper S. It had the same setup with the same spark plugs, and I purchased this tool to remove the spark plugs for this specific engine on that Mini as well. And you can see that it's got this multi socket thing here. And it's really, really long. It goes down. So, yeah, I kept that for, a good reason, really. So just because I need it. And lo and behold, I need it on this one. So we're going to start stripping the top end off. Going to start doing the bottom end as well. Drop oil, gearbox oil, engine oil filter. Just really clean it up. Drop the sump. And really sort of, this is what I was saying to you about spending the money on this side and not the bodywork side. This side, obviously the back end's got to be repaired. No, that's no question about that. But I'd rather spend, getting this right without no oil leaks. Just clean it all up. Make sure it's gonna be a good car for someone when eventually someone takes it. It's like this bumper here, really. Look, this can do with a respray, but it just, I'd rather spend the money in there. So it's a lot more work, but definitely got to be done, and I think it's definitely going to be worth it in the end. So let's get set up. Let's carry on. Let's do this. Right, guys, I just want to quickly cut in here, just so I can show you what's going on. As you can see, cam cover is off, and I think the whole oil leak is the cam cover gasket. It's this gasket right here. It feels really hard and solid. There's no like flex. It's like really, really hard. That's no good. That means that's signs of it, you know, it wearing down and perishing and not holding a seal. So I don't think it's the sump. We are going to clean it all up, and we're going to make sure that, you know, all the oil, because I don't know if you can see that. I've noticed as well is that there is a brand new alternator. So someone has fitted an alternator there. Look, that there is a brand new alternator. I think the radiator's new as well. This radiator looks really, really clean and new. So someone has spent some money on this car, definitely. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's anything to do with the sump. It just looks like it because oil is everywhere. So let me quickly show you. Take her up quickly. So I have just dropped the engine oil itself, so that's done. And this is the gearbox oil here. Now, there should be a bit more than that, I've got to be honest. I don't know why it's not coming out. I've released the top plug and the bottom plug, but yeah, you know, I'll just have to put in, again, I'll have to put in what comes out, and then obviously the rest is in between, inside the gearbox itself, you know what I mean? So sometimes you've got to do like 2 or 3 actual oil drops, and it sort of clears it all out. Eventually you'll get it all out, but yeah, I'll just let it drip for a little while and just see how much gets out. But dripping like this is going to take a long time for it to do it. But yeah, like I'm saying to you, it just looks like there's an oil leak here, but I don't think it is. I think it's all come from above. Looking at, you know, the areas and how far it goes up, it looks like it's just dropped below, and maybe hit, I think it might have hit the actual drive shaft along the back here, and then just as it's driving, it spun it, and it spun the oil all over the place. So yeah, that's what I believe that's happened here. So I'm going to clean it all up, obviously, but I'm going to leave the sump, engine oil sump for now, and then clean it all up, put it all back together, drive it, test it, do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. That's what I really want to do, is to see how it goes, and if it's okay, I'll just leave the sump up there like that. But yeah, we'll just have to measure how much oil we've taken out, but it's not a lot. It's not really a lot, so I don't know. There's not an actual fill up point for this. On this, there's just a drain plug that goes there, and then there's let me show you actually. Get up off the floor. So there's a drain plug at the bottom, and there's a fill up point here. So that's the plug that goes just there on top of the actual gearbox. So yeah, all I can do is replace what's come out, I suppose. So, but I just want to quickly show you that, just before I start putting everything back together. I've got all the parts over here now. New cam cover gasket, even the middle parts as well. See the round ones, they've got to be changed. Gearbox oil, oil filter, air filter, and spark plugs, which are the platinum plugs. Yeah. So yes, there we go. But I just thought to quickly. Oh, and the oil filter's there. Look. So I've just got to replace that. That was an absolute pig to get out. This was crazy tight. That shouldn't be that tight. So that's another reason I suspect oil could be coming from that as well. Oil filter, because someone's over tightened that to compensate, stop the leak. So yes, very suspicious that was really, really tight. But anyway, let's carry on, chuck it all back together, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's do this. Right, okay. So, guys, there we go. It's all back together. All cleaned up underneath as well with brake cleaner. You know, you just see me do that, cleaning up underneath. I'm just checking. The oil is up to where it should be, to the top level. So that's okay. And I'm just checking to see if there's any other leaks or anything, but there's no leaks whatsoever. So it looks like it's back together okay. I haven't got time to do the brake pads today, but we'll do that. In another video. Oh God, I've run out of time today. That was me on the key. Did you hear that noise? That was me on the key. But yeah. So yeah, I've been sort of getting it up to a little bit engine temperature, and just to sort of see where the oil level sits, and it's absolutely bang on, spot on. So I haven't got to do anything with that. But yeah, that's it. We're done. I'm absolutely shattered. Fingers crossed, guys, for England tonight. I'm sure a lot of you will be watching the game. Hopefully we can do it and get to the final. You never know. But for now, that's it. That's the end of today's video. Don't forget, guys, drop me a comment if you've got anything to say, and let me know what you think. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have got a new project to get into. So thanks for watching. See you soon.